I loved being a Los Angeles Rams. I loved, being there with all the guys. I had created so many friendships and created so many brotherhoods in that short period of time that, it's really hard to let that go. We got a great staff over there from, Sophie to Jock to, Reggie and the training staff to, the video guys and, Coach McVay. I love Coach McVay, real love for Coach McVay and Les Snead and Tony and all those guys, man. And, this was really, one of the hardest decisions that I've ever made in my life. And, I love all those guys at the Rams. And really the hardest decision was really, not being able to rush with Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and Greg Gaines. We had created something special. Each and every day it was fun. Each and every day it felt like the Pro Bowl. Going to work and being around Jalen Ramsey and Odell and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and all these guys that I've grown to love over this short period of time. It was hard walking away from those guys, but it was harder walking away from AD. He's a special player. One of the best defensive players to ever play this game, if not the best. And I like to think I'm one of the best defensive players that ever played this game as well. I saw the way he did it every single day. I saw what makes Aaron Donald, and it was hard to walk away from that. And the only way you can walk away from that is to walk into something special. And what they're doing here is extremely special. They're going to win a Super Bowl with or without me. They've built an amazing team. Josh Allen and Diggs on the offensive side, and this offensive line that they've built, Dawkins. I've been a huge fan of the way he plays for a long time. To this defense, number one defense in the league, from the safeties, Poirier and Micah, and Ed Oliver up front, and now we got Jordan Phillips and Settle, and they made a number one defense even better. And I got a lot of respect for these linebackers as well. Matt Milano and Tremaine. So, I've been a big fan of the Bills for a long time. I thought I was going to be a Buffalo Bill when I first got drafted. Denver came, out of nowhere the day before the draft, and, I got wind that I was going to be a Denver Bronco. But that whole offseason, I thought I was going to be a Buffalo Bill. I had already bought into the Buffalo Bills. I had Buffalo Bills gear. I knew about the Bills Mafia. I knew how much this team meant to this community, and I was okay with it back then, and I'm definitely okay with it now. I'm excited. I'm excited to go win. I'm excited to go win a Super Bowl in this city. I'm excited to see Bills Mafia go crazy. I'm excited for all the things that this special place brings, and they were already going to be good without me. They're already going to win a Super Bowl without me, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of it.
And when you first, just like you said it yourself back in 2011, you was headed to Buffalo. When Brandon Beane gave you that call, did those memories kind of resurface?
Yeah, they did, man. And like I said, I thought I was gonna be a Buffalo Bill. I wasn't. They took Marcel Darius. I paid attention to his career. I paid attention to all the great things, all the great wins that they had, and I knew of Josh Allen before he came here. I thought he was going to be a Denver Bronco. We took Bradley Chubb. That's my running mate. That's my brother as well. But I thought we was going to take Josh Allen, and Josh Allen came here and became a creature, became a superstar quarterback, and he's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to be a part of this. I believe in him. I believe in this offense. Getting to know these coaches as well, Coach McDermott, Coach Frazier, and Coach Washington, all of these guys, man. I feel like I've been knowing these guys for a long time. It was a hard decision for me to make. I want to put emphasis on that. Leaving LA for Buffalo. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, but playing football is what I love to do. Winning games is what I love to do. Being around a great group of guys, being around this team in this locker room. I knew of this locker room before I even got here, and that's really the only way they can draw me away from that good weather in LA, man, is to come over here and become some part of something special, man. And it's an honor and a privilege, and I can't help but be happy and smile. That wasn't the case, all the way up until this point, man. And I'm excited to be here. I really am. I'm excited to be part of, this community. I'm excited to be a part of Bills Mafia. I'm excited to be part of this team. They got a special team that's going to win the Super Bowl without me. That's going to have a great team without me, man. And, I'm excited to be here and excited to be a part of it.
You just alluded to it. I mean, going from Los Angeles to Buffalo, right? But you've been in the league 10 years. Could you ever imagine, say the first 7 years of your career, ever leaving to go to Buffalo?
When I left Denver and I went to LA, I said, I'm not going back. I'm not leaving. I said, I'm not leaving. And it had to be something special. It had to be this. It had to be the Buffalo Bills and, what they've created here. It had to be the Bills Mafia. It had to be, this environment that we're playing in to draw me away from that. It's not really the weather. The weather is going to be the weather. But what they're doing inside this facility, what they're doing in this community, what they're doing on the football field and off the football field, man, I had to be a part of that.
But you have to speak to this, but Vaughn, what do you feel you add coming in here?
I do a lot of things as well. I was telling the guys earlier, I do a lot of things well. I'm a DJ. I golf not too well. I don't golf that well, but I golf. I'm a comedian, on the side. Y'all supposed to laugh at that, but y'all didn't. I'm a great brother. I'm a great friend. But the one thing that I do best out of everything else in my whole entire life is rush the passer. Secondly to that, I'm a great teammate. And I can toot my horn when it comes to that. I don't want to talk about stuff that I do on the football field and all of that stuff, but when it comes to being a great teammate, when it comes to being part of the guys and contributing to a great culture, I got that. I got that in my back pocket. That's what I've done on Super Bowl teams. That's what I've done on teams that didn't make the playoffs. When it comes to being a great teammate and bringing the best out of your brother, I'm one of the best that has ever done that, and I can toot my own horn in that aspect.
Do you have a sense of the culture they've built here under Sean McDermott?
Man, I love it, man, and you can feel it. You can feel it walking through the facility. I think coming here today kind of really put my mind at ease, seeing all the great things that they're doing here, that they've done here. Seeing the facility, meeting the staff, man, I was blown away by the staff right when I got off the plane. RJ from the scouting department, he was right there, man, and he made me feel comfortable right when I got off the plane. A lot of nerves going through. I came with my brother and my videographer, Theo, and it's like, man, you ain't smiled. You haven't smiled yet. You haven't smiled. You're not excited. And, right when I seen RJ and I started talking to him and, coming over to the facility, it just put my mind at ease, man, that this is where I knew I had to be.
Vaughn, you talked about thinking you were coming here in the draft, and you don't have a choice in that situation, right? You'd have to accept where you get picked. 10 years later now, you choose to come here. You talked about the LA to Buffalo, but what does that say about how far this franchise has come in that time that you willingly come to this situation? Choose it over any other team.
Man, it says a lot. Just LA itself for Buffalo, man, it says a lot, man, with the type of things that they're doing inside the facility. And we're doing a lot of great things with the Rams as well. I love Coach McVay. I love Aaron Donald. I love Les Snead. They came and they resurrected me. They energized me. They refreshed me by leaving Denver and coming to LA, man. LA didn't suck at all. And to go there and be refreshed and to play with Aaron Donald and really see what it takes to be, the best defensive player in the league. They refreshed me and they rejuvenated me to come here and be the best football player, be the best teammate that I could possibly be.
Did you watch the Bills playoff games against New England and Kansas City, and where did you think you got in?
Yeah, I watched those games. That playoff game, the Bills look like the Bills look like the team to beat in the playoffs. The way they put pressure on that Patriots team. I would think they would come. I thought it was going to be a closer game, and the Bills they kind of came out and put it to rest early. I was a fan of that. I was watching the Chiefs game, and I turned the TV on, and they're winning, turn it off. They're not winning, turn it back on. They're winning, turn it back off, and they lost the game. I'm like, bro, how? Like, how? And I firmly believe if they would have played the Cincinnati Bengals here at this stadium, it would have been tough for the Cincinnati Bengals as well. So. Josh Allen is a creature. He's a beast. He can make every throw on the football field. He can run the ball. He's big. He's strong. The aspect that I love about him the most is his ability to get guys to play at a level that they wouldn't normally play at. To get this offensive line to play like they're 7 foot tall, and to get these receivers to play like, they're Hall of Fame guys. Even though we have some Hall of Fame guys on this level, but it's Josh Allen's ability to make these guys feel like superheroes, and I was a fan of that for sure.
You said that you were familiar with this locker room. Is that just from guys you talk to, or is that because it's resonating around the league about the locker room and what's happening? How are you familiar with the locker room?
I've been around some guys at the Pro Bowl, Kyle Williams, and I asked him about what the locker room is like. I'm familiar with Jerry Hughes and Stephon Diggs. That's my guy. Talked to him about it. To be honest, I talked to him about his locker room since he got here. I asked him about it. He said he loved it. He said he loved everything about Buffalo. And for Stephon Diggs, Mr. International, for him to give me those kudos, it really made me feel at peace with coming here and being a part of this.
What else can you tell us about that recruiting process? I mean, was it Stephon that was reaching out to you? Were you talking to him, or was it,
Man, I talked to
Brandon Bean? Who was it?
I talked to everybody, man, and I talked to everybody, and that's why it took me so long to, really, sign the contract, because I just wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision, and this is the first decision that I'm making. I made the decision to come here to Buffalo and be a part of this, and I just wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing for me and my family and my future, and like I said, man, it was tough. It's every time I think about leaving LA, every time I think about the conversations that I had with Coach McVay and AD, man, it just makes me sick to my stomach that I had to leave those guys. It really felt like I broke up with my girlfriend, and she never did anything to me. She was good to me. She was good to me, and I had to break up with her to go to choose another girlfriend. And I hate that part. I hate that part of the league. Man, like I said before, I love Coach McVay. I love everybody there, from Jock to Coach Henney to Coach Thad, to Coach Raheem Morris. Man, I hate to let those guys down and not be able to come back and run it back again with those guys, man. But it had to be something special. It had to be something amazing to draw me away from LA and this great coaching staff, and to draw me away from AD and Leonard Floyd, man. It had to be something special, and it is. They're working on something special here, man, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of it.
This is a team that has gotten close the last couple of years. You've been able to get there twice and win it all twice. What do you anticipate telling your teammates about what it takes to take that next step, when you are so close?
Honestly, I hope to lead by example. And if it's anything that needs to be said, I've never had a problem saying anything that needs to be said. If it's anything that needs to be talked about, we can talk about it. I will lean on my experience from going to the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams to kind of guide me, through this process. I like to believe success leaves clues, and I've been a part and around some great players, from Peyton Manning to Matthew Stafford to DeMarcus Ware to Aaron Donald, and I'm gonna lean on my experiences with all of these guys to try to get us over the hump here.
You mentioned Aaron Donald and playing in like a Pro Bowl atmosphere. You come here with a very young defensive line, a rising star in Ed Oliver. What are your impressions of him, and what do you think the ceiling is on what he can become? Because it's almost like he's getting better year by year.
Yeah, I wouldn't have came here if I didn't have rushing buddies. If it was just gonna be me, rushing after the passer, it wouldn't have been a great fit for me. But we rush here. It's a lot of guys here that can get after the passer. I've been a fan of these young guys from Greg to AJ to Ed Oliver. I need a guy on the inside to help me. I've always had a great defensive tackle on the inside to help me get sacks, whether that's Derek Wolfe or Aaron Donald or Malik Jackson. I've always had somebody on the inside that can kind of beat their one-on-one and create their own problems on the inside to kind of help me on the outside. So that's the same here with Ed Oliver. He's a great player. I'm excited to line up and get started.
Two more guys.
How it was such a long process deciding and really hard to decide. Was there one moment that kind of crystallized it for you where you were like, okay, now I feel good about this decision?
To be honest, I honestly didn't feel good about it until I talked to, Coach McDermott and, Coach Frazier and Coach Washington, and just being here. I feel like I had to be here to be okay with it. It's not something that you could just, even though I agreed to it yesterday, I felt like I had to be here to really put it down on paper. And, you know, like I said, man, Coach McVay and Les and Tony, you know, they did everything that they possibly could for me, man. And you know, I feel like I let those guys down. I feel like, you know, I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. That's just me and the way I go about my business. But this was the one time in my life where I had to make a decision, you know, for me. And walking away from Aaron Donald, man, that sucks. What pass rusher would walk away from, you know, a tandem with me, Aaron Donald, and Leonard Floyd? Who does that? You know, I don't care if we didn't have anybody else behind us. As long as it was me, AD, and Leonard Floyd, man, I feel like we could have got things done. It had to be something special. It had to be the Buffalo Bills to, you know, really get me over the hump. And right when I signed on the contract, man, I felt good. The smile came back, you know, the happiness came back, fun came back. But this was definitely a stressful process. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. I expect you win the Super Bowl, you got your offers out here, where you want to go, pick, go back to the Rams. But, you know, it was tough, man. It came down to the very end. And, you know, Coach McVay, they did everything that they possibly could, man. And you know, it's unfortunate that I'm not a Los Angeles Ram, but you know, I'm a Buffalo Bill, man. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to go chase multiple Super Bowls with these guys, man, and it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Bills Mafia, what's up, baby?
You gonna take number 40?
Last one.
Number 40? You gonna take number 40?
Yes, sir. I'll be fine.
Was going back to Denver something you would
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm a Buffalo Bill, baby.